Hello everyone, I'm Debbie Polachek. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be making a Mother's Day. Going to be using the Stampin' Up! Set Tea Together for this card. And I'm going to show you a technique that I came up with of how to make letters within your card to pop up. So the card will actually pop up. We're going to be saying Mom today, but you could do any short word inside this pop-up card by using our grid paper to do it. So let's get started. Okay, I'm going to start off by showing you how to use your graph paper to make letters. So first of all, I'm going to start off by putting my ruler halfway in the middle. I'm going long ways today at 5.5. The reason I'm doing it at 5.5 is because that's what each side of our card is if we fold it long ways. On this particular card, I'm going to 11 on this side. So each side should be 5.5 inches. Yes. This is going to be the outside of our card. Go ahead and draw a line here. So I'll remember that this is the outside of the card. Draw a line here. Don't know if all of this is getting into the camera. Now it's going to be 4 1/4. So let's put this at 2 1/4. The center point at 2 1/4. This is center point. And so this would be at 4 1/4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 1/4. This is set at 2 1/4. And I'm going to draw a line right down here. This is my center fold line right here of the card. Letter Mom. I'm going to go over 2 squares. The reason I know that is because I've already done this. And see, I did a calculation of how far that I need to go, and this is the side of my card. I've got 2 even squares on both sides of Mom, so I know I need to go over 2 squares to start my Mom. Now I want to go 1 square below the fold line and 3 squares above the fold line. This is going to give me 1-inch letters. Okay, and this line I want to be a whole 1/4 of an inch, so I'm going to go ahead and make this one line. Move over 2 squares to the 3rd square and make the other part of the M. Now I'm going to take this a little past the 2nd square, not far, and this down to the fold line, and I'm going to go approximately make a little gap right there so I got the M for Mom. Okay, the next one I'm going to jump over 1 complete square. I'm going to take the M, the O, make it 2, go over 1 and just make a little mark. Go ahead and erase this. Make the 1 and a little mark, and then 1 and a longer mark. So I've got 2 squares above the fold line, 2 squares above the fold line. Here I'm going to only go 1 square in the center. This one I'm going to round out for the O for Mom. This one I'm going to round out, and this one is going to only be one square below the fold line, so I'm going to round this out. Now this one will be rounded out here. It's going to be the end of it, so I'm going to round it out here. So here we are going to skip over another line and go 3 above the line, 1 below the line, the fold line. Again, above the line, and go ahead and square that off. Square this off. That's the first part of the M. Go over 2, miss 2, and do the same thing. 3 above, 1 below. Again on the M, a little bit past the first line, a little bit past the first line, connect all the way to the second line, all the way to the second line, about a 1/4 inch bottom there. Okay, so this is our actual, let's go ahead and make a line all the way down. We've made our own pattern now. For our card. Now to finish the pattern, so this is 4 1/4 this way and 11 this way. To finish the pattern, this is all the letter part. Let's go ahead and fill that in with a marker, just so we can know exactly where we're going with this. Now, the only place I'm going to fold on the card itself is this center line. So let's mark that with maybe a little bit darker marker, like let's say red. I'll go ahead and just mark it with red, just so I know that this is our faux line. Now I'm gonna fold it on every part of the line except for where the letters go across. I want to miss the letters. See, it's no part of that that's really going across. So I'm just going to miss the letters and go ahead and go all the way with this and go down. Okay. Now I'm going to mark on the bottom of the letters, because this will be folded, but it'll only be folded in these areas, right where the letters are. Okay. Same with the top. On the top of the letter, it'll be folded. Top that letter, top the letter. Okay. Now there's going to also be a fold 1 square above that. So let's go with that. I'm going to do the top of the letter right there above each letter where we've folded it before. So you can see it's just a continuation of this. Next, we're going to be marking our cut lines, ink pen. Okay, now I'm going to take my cut lines and I'm going to try to get it close to the grit papers lines. Okay. Now this, I'm going to be marking it all the way up to the red line, the top of the red line, and I want to mark it all the way to there, and I want to mark it all the way to there. So I want to mark it everywhere along the area that I colored, plus this extra here. These are going to be all cut lines. Cut, cut. This is a cut line as well. Cut, 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 cut around this curve, cut around this circle here, cut around this curve, straight down, but not cutting these. Remember, don't cut those red ones there. Only one way you're going to be cutting it is if it's in the center. These are staying attached to the card base here. So up again, 1 square above, going down this line, going down this line. Again, we're going to cut this right here, cut this and cut this, cut this and cut this. Okay, so now we'll cut this out. Just cut the outside edges of the card. First of all, I'm going to tell you what we have here to make the card and how I went about doing some of this stuff. Okay, we have a black base that's 11 by 4 1/4, and then we scored it in the middle on the long side at 5 1/2. I have 3 pieces of Whisper White that's cut by 4 by 5 1/4, and I embossed 2 of them with that Country Floral 3D folder. We won't be using all of one of them, but I just went ahead and cut it the right size that it should be, and we will be trimming it down later on these 2. But this one will be the front, for the front. Okay. I also cut and stamped from the same stamp set, Tea Together, Happy Mother's Day, and then this pretty little verse here. I stamped it, and then I cut it with, they're called layered squares, and they have smooth side, and they have a little scallop side, and as you can see, the scallop is real small that goes around there. And on these 2, I used, on the smooth one, I always take mine and I number from the smallest to the biggest. So I have the smallest one is 1, 2, 3. Well, I use number 2 and 4 of the smooth side, and I use number 3 and 5 of the scallop side to cut those. As you can see, it's just a little bit of a border there. Very cute. Okay, and then I stamped my images on a piece of white cardstock, and I also stamped the same images on a piece of scrap paper. Then I cut out the inside of where I wanted to put the stamps on my cardstock, and stamp it and cover it so the places that I didn't want to be stamped wouldn't get stamped. So I just kept it away. Since it's such a small area, I didn't have to worry about making anything to cover these up, but I just did that. And the same thing for this. I just covered up the areas I didn't want to stamp. Now you could use this with any stamp. You know, it doesn't have to be from this stamp set, and you can do it from anything as far as that goes. But see, like a little girl's dress, if for instance you wanted to put a print on it, you could do this same sort of thing. And I just cut it right straight up there and cut it out, and then just taped it back. Then I just stamped that. Colored it. Then I colored, and then I cut several of these. I have no idea how many of these I'm going to be using, so we'll just see as we go on that one. And I did all my coloring with some Stampin' Blends. I used light Real Red, and I used light Oat Olive, and I used light Gray Graphite. The Gray Graphite, I just went around the edges a little bit with that. Okay. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, on this I used the lipstick color of the cardstock for the scalloped area. This is the pattern we made. And my piece of cardstock, I went ahead and cut it 4 inches wide instead of the 4 1/4, because I was going to end up laying on the inside of this base here. So I just went ahead and centered it through here. Went ahead and put these clips on both sides. Okay, while doing this, I found out I really suck at cutting with that straight edge. Everything was really bad, even though I used a ruler here and stuff. So what I decided to do after I got through with this video was, I'll show you some pictures of what I did. I ended up using that same pattern and using the colors, the part that's colored, the mom part, and just cutting that out and cutting the lipstick cardstock from those letters, and use those letters as a pattern, and that way I could use my scissors and I could get even cuts. Now, of course, where the tabs are, the white part on the top of the letters, those I did use from what I cut here. But the letters itself, I went ahead and cut it again out of cardstock and kind of cut it back some and glued the letters on top of the letters that I have here. And also here I ended up cutting behind the M's on top and on the top. And I'm not real sure if that was a good idea or not, but I ended up taking a 1-inch strip of black cardstock. I did like the black in the background. I decided I did. I didn't think I did, but I did. And slipped it through the back long ways behind the MOM mom, and it was a 4 1/4 by 1 inch, and went ahead and glue that to the back of the letters. That's another thing I did. But you know, you might be a lot better at cut with this thing than I am, so go ahead and give it a try and see how you do. Yeah, that's the way I ended up having to do it. Okay, here I'm just checking to see if I got it cut all the way through. And okay, next I'm taking my ruler again, and I'm using my score tool, and just go ahead and score on those red lines that I have for that, all the faux lines going in between the letters, on the bottom, at the letters, and again at the top of the letters. Okay, time for the revealing. Now you can see what kind of bad job I can do doing this. Okay, so now I want to flip this on that faux line, which is about 1/4 inch above those letters, by pushing the letters out so I don't faux those. I just want to faux that score line there that goes down the middle. Then I want to fold these little letters on the bottom. Kind of pinch the top. Go ahead and trim these off. We'll go ahead and trim these off too. Go ahead and trim this a little bit and this a little bit, about 1/8 inch off, and color these in my red marker, in my light red. And I'm just going to color to that line here, here, and here, all the way down here. I might be using a lot of those little flowers to cover this mess up. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and trim this about 1/8 inch off of each side. Make sure that you glue this inside corner to that inside corner. And do not glue the red area or any of this area that bends up. So in other words, just below those letters. Okay. Now I'm going to glue just in between here, just on this area here. And go ahead and glue here too. Yes, you can go ahead and glue all this in here too. So now we're holding it straight down. Putting all that down. Straighten these up. And fold it over. And hopefully this works out. Bone folder. Make sure this is folded real good here. Okay, I think we got it. Go ahead and glue this together. I think so. I think I'm going to put this here and this here. Looks good just like that. Okay, I think I'll put it right here. I have dimensionals in here, so I'm going to go ahead and put one behind this little heart flower. I'm going to overlap the cup just a little bit. And glue this straight down. That looks nice right there. Mama's cup of tea here. Cover my terrible letters. I just need a dot, maybe right here. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you. Bye-bye.